welcome to the web segment of Drenda at Drenda.com. We're so glad to have you. Have Dr. Bob DeMaria with us. We've been talking about sex and romance, a guide here. Excellent. It covers everything from the physical to the spiritual and even how to share sex with your kids. Love it. Very, very good. So we're going to take some questions from our studio audience, but before we do that, let me tell you, Dr. Bob is going to gift everyone in the studio audience the Guide to Sex and Romance. So everyone leaves with the book today. Thank you, Bob. You want to keep people smiling.
Smiling.
Yes.
Smiling.
That's the subtitle. Why am I always smiling?
Why are you smiling and healthy? Smiling and healthy. So let's ask some questions here. Who has a question for Dr. Bob about sex and romance?
I'd like to know at what age you introduced the topic of sex to children and how do you address it?
You know, I could tell you that we always talked about sex. When it came to sex, it wasn't so much about intimacy exactly with my wife and myself, but we always called a penis, a vagina was a vagina, a breast was a breast. My sons, when they were really tiny, they took showers in the shower with me, you know, so they saw, it was at a very young age, obviously, that they stopped when they started figuring out, but we were open with it. They never really engaged in taking a shower with their mom, but we, I would have to say, maybe they're 7 or 8 years old, so they're starting to have an awareness of it at that time. But you have to use, don't use little silly words like TT and, you know, it's a penis and this is a vagina. And talk about the anatomy. And if you don't know what the anatomy is, you know, get some books and look it up because they're going to get it from somewhere.
Right, and you do it sooner than later.
That's right.
I know with our kids, we gave them whatever their questions were, we would deal with it at that level. And so it's a progressive talk. It's not one talk in their life, you know, where you're uncomfortable. But you start early and you start to just build upon that, don't you think?
Yes.
I know that's what we do with each of ours, and it worked great.
You know, we never said anything unkind or silly. No sexual jokes are in our house. So it's all in how you word and you communicate.
Right. It's not a dirty thing. It's not a crass thing. It's a holy thing.
Right.
All right, another question.
You're talking about romance in your book. Is that like an ongoing thing all the time? I mean, in the way you treat each other, or is it something like, preparing, or is it an ongoing thing all the time where your mutual respect for each other?
Well, romance is just like gravity. Does gravity ever take a vacation?
No.
Good answer, yeah. Excellent.
So if you're smart, you probably want to do it every moment. You know, there's a chapter in a book called The Hunt, and my hunt starts from the beginning in the morning. My job is to do everything I can to make my wife's job easier. Her job is to do everything she can to make my job easier.
Yep.
And it just works that way for us.
Yes.
And can I share something else with you? We don't split finances.
Yes.
No.
I've seen it be a huge problem.
Yes, yes.
The money goes in the pot, and everything, it works out together.
Right.
I have family members that have separated. I know it has infected their intimate life.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the wife paying the bills and taking the stress of the bills. You know, we've seen that work into finances.
Yeah.
Guys need to bear that responsibility. They can do it together. They know what is going on. Plan your finances, talk your finances out. But one person shouldn't bear it, and especially the wife. She's not going to want to have intimacy if she's stressed out because of the bills. That is the #1 killer to me for women for sex. And he started paying the bills a long time ago, many, many years ago in our marriage.
Smart move.
And it was a smart move. And he also, like you and your wife shared, serves me, and I serve him, and together we're serving one another.
Makes
And
life
there's times you're not in the mood for sex, but you serve the other person, and next thing you know, you're in the mood.
Well, they have a chapter here called On, In, and Out. Just use your imagination.
I think we got that picture, Dr. Bob. So we don't want to just have on, in, and out
All the time,
relationships.
but
We
for those
want to have it.
moments.
All right, very good. So,
Another show.
you take care of your spouse, they'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And there's times I know for us, you know, I knew certain things and events were about to happen, and I'd say, we need to make love. And he's like, really? I know you're tired. I know you've had a busy day. I'm like, no, this is what's going on tomorrow. We need to make love.
Right.
And so we need to make love. Anyway, what else? Other questions?
A word about the testosterone replacement. What's the best way? What's more functional? When is appropriate?
Good
Testosterone.
question. Testosterone, lack of, is a huge problem. Besides that, the first thing you want to do is minimize soy products, because soy depletes the body of zinc. Soy will increase estrogen. Having a big tummy will increase estrogen. So it's not about taking testosterone, it's about eliminating the testosterone antagonist. Clean liver, get rid of the soy, because soy is going to put a lot of estrogen in your body. Minimize the chemicals you're putting in and out of your body. I personally use a herb called tribulus. Tribulus helps make up the androgen hormones inside of your body. You also want to have strong adrenal gland function. Bell peppers, red, yellow, orange, and make sure you're doing protein, pantothenic acid. So my whole approach is build the adrenal glands, they'll make your testosterone for you.
All right, as we close today, all that's in the book, right?
Yes.
All right.
Excellent.
Also, how long before we see changes in our bodies? Because we're talking about changing our lifestyle. How quickly should we expect to see some change in results?
Once you start implementing.
Well, I can tell you, a red blood cell lives 120 days. So if you start today and you start making wise choices, in 120 days from now, which is the body's natural rhythm, you should be the beginning of a whole new person.
20 days. That's
Wow,
interesting.
120 days to a better you. All
Good.
right?
That's good.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Bob, so
Yes.
much. It's been a great day, Pam.